about the survivors and the investigation?
Well, Don, good morning. You know, you were talking just moments ago about the shooter. Here's what we know about him. He's been identified by police, and this is the alleged shooter, as 22-year-old Anderson Lee Eldridge. According to police, he was subdued by one or two individuals who were inside Club Q. Shortly thereafter, he was taken into custody and he was transported to the hospital. No charges have been filed at this point in time. As for his background, it is believed that he is the same individual who was arrested after a bomb threat in 2021. Colorado Springs grieving after police say a gunman stormed one of the only LGBTQ clubs in the community.
The motive of the crime is part of the investigation, and whether this was a hate crime is part of that investigation.
The club, writing in a statement, Club Q is in shock and in deep mourning. We condemn the horrific violence that shattered an evening of celebration for all in the LGBTQ community of Colorado Springs and our allies. The shooting lasted only minutes, with police detaining the suspect shortly after the first 911 call. Police have identified the suspected shooter as 22-year-old Anderson Lee Eldridge. Police say he entered the club just before midnight on Saturday and began shooting immediately with a long rifle. 2 weapons were found at the scene.
At least one, possibly two, very heroic individuals who subdued this guy. Appears to have taken his handgun, he had a handgun with him, and used it to disable him. But for that, as tragic as this incident is, it's a horrible crime. It could have been much, much worse.
And now, more details are emerging about the suspected shooter, including a 2021 arrest for felony menacing and first-degree kidnapping, according to a news release at the time, after his mother says he threatened her with a homemade bomb and other weapons.
This is an act of evil, a horrific act. Colorado is strong, we're resilient, but this is really a time of need. For so many people that were directly affected by this.
The shooting has left the LGBTQ community here devastated.
For a lot of people like myself, we don't have families, so LGBT people really need somewhere that is a safe space, and Club Q gave that to us.
My hopes is that we come out strong from this. We show the communities that don't want LGBT people to be out and about. We show them that we are here. We aren't going and hiding in a hole. We are staying strong, and we are continuing to fight for it, and we don't give up.
Now, authorities here have not released the names of the victims, but the parents of one of the victims telling the Denver Post that their son died. Take a look at his picture. This is Daniel Aston. Again, this is his parents telling the Denver Post that he died, that he was a bartender at Club Q, that he had moved to this area to be closer to his parents. Now, as for the motive, Dawn, investigators are not sharing what they do know, but the district attorney did say yesterday during a press conference that this is being investigated through the lens of a hate crime. The DA also saying that he's working with the U.S. Attorney's Office, that the FBI is investigating. The point here being that whether it's state charges or federal charges, it's about finding justice for the victims.
LGBTQ club over the weekend in Colorado went before a judge just hours ago. It's our top story here on The 4. I'm Heather Myers.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. Anderson Lee Eldridge faces numerous murder and hate crime charges. The 22-year-old appeared via video monitor from jail.
CBS 8's Kelly Hessedal joins us with what we learned today. Kelly.
Well, that's right, Heather and Carlo. The appearance was quick. Through court filings, we have learned that Eldridge identifies as non-binary and wants to be referred to as they, them. Now, the judge made it clear at the beginning of the hearing, everyone's cell phones must be turned off, no tweeting, no texting allowed. The judge asked Eldridge a series of questions, and there were some long pauses. Take a look.
Could the defendant please state his name? Anderson Eldridge, did you watch the video concerning your constitutional rights in this case?
Yes. And here's Aldrich's mugshot released from Colorado Springs Police. We just got this into our newsroom, and you can see the cuts and bruises all over Aldrich's face. Now, the accused shooter has been in the hospital the past few days. In court, it took the defendant a while to respond to the judge. She went on to ask, do you have any questions about your constitutional rights? Aldrich responded, no. Aldrich was in a wheelchair, handcuffed, wearing a jumpsuit. The same injury still visible that you saw in the mugshot. Two public defenders were standing there with Aldrich. A date was set for the next court appearance, and that was it. The hearing was around 5 minutes long. Now, Aldrich is being held on 5 counts of first-degree murder and 5 counts of bias-motivated crime, but more charges could be added within just a matter of days. Now, there are questions about Aldrich's non-binary identity. Some experts speculate this is a legal tactic. Reporters asked the district attorney, how will the defendant's identity as non-binary affect this case when you consider this is someone accused of committing a mass shooting inside an LGBTQ club? Here's what the DA said.
In every single murder case that I've prosecuted, which have been more than I would care to talk about, I refer to every one of those as defendants, and that's what I will do in this case.
And the DA went on to stress that under Colorado law, anyone charged with the crime is referred to as a defendant. The judge ordered Aldrich remain in custody without bond. The next court appearance is scheduled for December, and there's a good chance, rather than via video monitor, it will be in person. Heather and Carlo?
Yeah, Kelly, a lot of times we can learn a lot from one of the arrest warrants in the case. Do we know what's in that at this point?
That still remains a mystery right now. It remains sealed. The defense attorneys, the public defenders that is, did ask that it be unsealed for them, and the judge granted that request. But as for the public, as for the media right now, we do not have access to that.
Disturbing crime, and it looks like it's going to be a complicated prosecution. Kelly Hestall reporting for us. Thanks, Kelly.
Was there any history of mental illness with him, or when's the last time you saw him?
My son, I hadn't seen him for years. I thought he committed suicide. His mother told me that he. I'll give you a history. I was a porn star. Okay, I became a porno star in 2002, and I combined that with a mixed martial arts career. And my ex was something that she took off with my son. I hadn't seen him for years. Little did I get to see my son, I tried to give him, a father figure, whatever. I didn't know where his low whereabouts were. I found out recently that he did not kill himself in 2016. That he's alive and well, and he lives in Colorado.
Yeah. Why did you think he had killed himself?
His mother told me this. She said that he killed himself because of I'm an embarrassment to him. My son is I loved him so much. I didn't want to lose be around. I wanted to be around my son and be there for him. I have a daughter the same way I had my son. I never see my kids. I never, but I want to be in his life. He's been accused of doing some crazy thing. I don't know what he's been accused of. I can't get answers from the attorneys really, but they're saying that somebody's it's involving a gay bar or some shit. I don't know. I don't know what the heck he did at a gay bar. I don't know what's going on.
Well, he's accused of going on a mass shooting at a gay bar and killing 5 people.
Colorado.
Okay, well, that's shit. If he's accused of doing that, I'm surprised he's not gay. I could say that, but he's not gay.
When was the last time you saw him?
Shit, it was. I saw him. I made efforts to see him, but I think I see him in 2011.
2011.
Yeah.
It's been quite some time.
It's in 2011. Yeah.
Was he living in San Diego at the time?
He was in Carlsbad at the time. He came back from Colorado. They were here, and I had a little bit of a relationship with him. He was 10 years old. I was holding mitts for him. Showing him how to be. I wanted to be a professional fighter like me. I wanted to be a fighter, and I don't know how much he takes after me, or whatever. But I said, my son. What the hell? I didn't expect to hear this kind of stuff.
He's a big kid.
Yeah, he's taller than me. He's like 6'7". He's a big guy, He's 6'7", like almost 300 pounds.
So you said you've been trying to reach him now?
No, he reached out to me.
Okay, and said what?
My son is just say, hey, Dad, I want to talk to you, man. I want to see you. I was happy to hear he wanted to see me. He wanted me to come out to Colorado. And I was like, sure, I don't have the. I can't just get out to Colorado like right now. And he wanted it right then and there. And it seemed like he's a little You know, he was happy to see me, or he wanted to see me. He needed something right then. It was urgent. So I was a little alarmed by that.
This was 2011?
No, this last year.
Oh, okay.
I found he's alive. I was happy to hear he's alive. And, yeah.
Yeah.
So he contacted you last year, and he wanted to see
he
you.
reached out to some from people. Even he was, they said he got his attention. He called some people that I knew, that he knew I knew, and I was to bridge the gap between my son and I. These people did. The Kennedys, Kennedy Insurance over there in El Cajon, like they're good. They're good connection with me and my son, because they were around my life when my son was a baby. You know. So, yeah.
Was there any indication that he was distressed or that he was upset about anything when he contacted you? What did he tell you?
My son, he seemed like he was a man. I'm talking to a man on the phone, you know. I was like, what the hell? I'm talking to a grown-up here, so it's a little weird. But he said, he's straight up. My son slashed at me. He had words, and I just got so impatient when I said, "You want to kick my ass, kid?" He would say, "Yeah, you don't you say you raised at me." He would say, "Who the hell you think you're raising at? I don't care how big you think you are. You're kicking my ass. I fought in the UFC, and if you go do that, you're gonna bring your lunch." As I told him, he's, "Oh yeah, come on, kick my ass." I got news for you, Bucko. I can kick your ass still. I hate to say it, but I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He's a no belt in jiu-jitsu. But I love my son. I love him. I want the idea of seeing him again, but you know, shit, you know.
Wait, so he contacted you on the phone last year, and then you ended up arguing on the phone?
I argued on the phone with the guy. He starts telling me something. He said something to me. We had a little clash, you know, and he I guess he was gonna bulldog me on the phone. You got the wrong dude, man. That ain't me. I did him a disservice. I'm not in his life, but.
Did he tell you he had been in trouble with the law last year?
He told me he couldn't leave Colorado. That kind of struck me. He said he couldn't leave Colorado. So my son, I said, "Hey, come out here." I said, "There's the address right here." And he was asking about security fences and shit. Is there a security fence? I said, "Why are you asking? You being a smart ass? You knock on the door, I'll come get the door. You ain't gotta sneak around."
Do you have any idea why he changed his name?
Yes.
Why did he do it?
His mother told me he changed his name because I was on intervention and I'd been a porno actor. It was the laughing stock, you know, everybody's laughing, "Ha, your dad's a porno star," you know, and it's just like, it's an uncomfortable laughter people have when they find out I'm a porno star. It's like, all right, a porn actor. You know, so I haven't done porn. I stopped doing porn a couple years ago, because it's causing me a lot of problems. I was getting high on meth, and I was just like this, and I have permanent damage from meth. I was using meth for years, you know. I have tardive dyskinesia and a lot of nervous system movements and stuff I can't ever get rid of because of meth use. I had to get out of that business, but that's it right there. But I was on an intervention TV show back in 2008. I almost died using drugs, you know.
What show was that?
Intervention television show. Intervention is A&E. It's just like a documentary where they'll
A&E, okay.
They'll follow a person that's addicted. Like I was peaking in my addiction for meth in 2008. It was the worst I'd ever been. Mm-hmm. It was life-threatening. You know, and if I hadn't stopped, I would have been dead. I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for something.
Well, do you have any idea why he picked the name Anderson Ulrich? Where did that come from?
I have no idea. He's got he's got other issues going on, possibly. But I know one thing. He got a hold of me, and he's pissed off. He's pissed off at me. He wants to poke at the old man. I said, "You can get to poke at the old man as long as I ain't poke from a rifle on the street. You don't want to get shot." But he wasn't talking about shooting me. Never made any threats towards me like that. Never made any active threats. He got a little fresh with me.
He's accused of walking in with an assault rifle. And,
I think he's not there.
And then he was tackled by another patron who was a veteran and pinned him down.
God, what
and then they arrested him.
This? Why would he do it? He didn't shoot anybody then. He didn't actually shoot anybody.
Well, they are accused of killing 5 people.
So they say he killed somebody.
5 people. And 18 others were injured in that.
So the guy that grabbed him is a hero, basically. You know, I like to say to my son, "I'm ashamed that you did that. So you're going to be going killing people like this. It's just in that cold blood. If he goes and kills people with cold blood, I don't know if he tries to do this or not. I could never do it myself. I wouldn't think my son would do this."
Do you feel like you knew him well enough to indicate why he would have done something like this?
There's no excuse for going and killing people. If you're killing people, there's something wrong. This is not the answer. You're already gone if you're killing somebody. It's not socially acceptable. You can't just go and kill somebody.
Was he in San Diego from the time was he born in San Diego?
Yes,
he was born.
He was born right here in Sharp Mary Burr Hospital over here, off the 163 right there.
And then did he...
Get in the house! Hey, the dog's outside. Get the goddamn house. Yeah,
Tell us what kind of kid he was. What did he learn? I mean, from you, did he learn how to shoot? Did you have weapons then?
I'm not talking about a fight, though. I'll tell you this much. I showed my son how to turn his fist over and then become a destructive weapon with his hands if he needs to. I don't know about guns. I believe in the Second Amendment. I'm a conservative Republican. I like guns and all that stuff, but I like this was fisticuffs and shake hands afterward like a gentleman. That's how it should be.
So tell us, share some memories from his first 10 years with you. You were, until 10 years of age, he was going to school here.
Yeah, Nicholas is a good kid now. He was smart, man. There's something about him. He was really with it. He was he's intelligent. He's smarter than I was. And I thought I considered myself intelligent for being had all the head trauma, but I'm actually intelligent. My son is way smarter than me. He's technical, savvy. He knows how to use the computer. He's really, just really smart guy.
Was he in San Diego County from the time he was born until 10?
About 10, yeah.
Or did he go up to Orange County sometime?
No, he never went to Orange County, but he's...
Because you were up in Orange County,
I was in Orange County. I was Huntington Beach and then L.A. I was in the San Coronado Valley.
But he stayed in San Diego County that whole time?
He remained in San Diego with his stable the in-laws.
When did you hear about the incident?
Yesterday.
And you called immediately, tried to reach your son?
There's a guy on the phone from Colorado, real assertive and very polite gentleman who's with his attorneys.
I see.
And they reached out to me and and I was like, wow, my ex-wife, she told me. And she said, oh my God, they're trying to reach you. And I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, still kind of shocked. It's just 5 people are dead. I just hope that there's another suspect. That this is not something like this my son actually did. I don't want him to be... He's gone. He's history. If he did this, they're probably. I mean, they have like special circumstances for stuff like this, and involving social circumstances, you never know what happens. So I want my son to live a healthy life and hopefully not. Shit, man.
So his attorneys called you.
Yes,
sir. And they said your son wants to talk with you. Why did they call you?
He didn't actually. They didn't say he wants to talk to me. They said that it happened. Can you believe what happened? They started telling me about the incident. There was a shooting involving, multiple people.
Right.
And then later on to find it's the gay bar.
Yeah, right. And
I was like, oh my God, is he gay? I was just scared. I was like, oh my God, shit, is he gay? And he's not gay. So it's
well, you guys had conversations about that. You were.
Oh yeah, I was adamant.
Told him. Yeah, you were adamant that gay is bad.
This ain't happening. I'm a Mormon. I'm a conservative Republican, and we don't do gay. We don't do gay.
Yeah. So when did you first hear about the incident before the attorney called? You saw it on CNN? What happened?
No, I haven't seen it yet. I still haven't seen that.
How did you learn about the fact that your son was involved?
Right. I learned about that my son is alleged to have been something like this by this attorney. They were yesterday. Literally, they were yesterday. I have no idea.
Gotcha. So you hadn't heard it on the news until the attorney called you.
I'm still going to check something. I'm going to look for like a clip or something like that.
Right.
It's interesting to me.
But my point is...
My son's like, well, it's a celebrity. I say like that, but geez, God, it's a popular thing. Everybody knows about this.
Can you take us back to his childhood? Because the first 10 years, you had him, right?
I had him. When I had him, that's a good times right there. I taught him about, I said, my son says, a fight is man on man. You don't go to at least your gun. You have to be a man. And then separate. Don't go starting fights, but if you have to fight hard. And I showed him how to throw a punch, and he knocked out one, or he assaulted within my request to one of my ex-wife's boyfriends. He was mouthing off, he hit him right in the face, and he did. He hit him on the face. I praised him for violent behavior really early. I showed him that it works. It's instant, and you'll get immediate results. And you'll always get what you want if you're good at fighting. But this is not something we foolishly do. And just take it to a bar or a social place and go shoot people. I don't want my son to be held accountable and to go away forever. It's incarceration exposure, and not the death penalty is exposed to. I think he's exposed to this.
Colorado doesn't have the death penalty.
They do not. Oh, thank God.
It's life without parole if he gets convicted.
But he's going to be on forever if they get someone. But they say he did this. If they really connect him to this, if he's the person who shot these people. They're going to have him there for you know what? He has to be held accountable. I hate to say it, but I'd like to say to my son being incarcerated, I'd like to have a relationship with him. And I can teach him, hey, look, fighting is the way to go. You don't go shooting people. A fight is a gentleman's way to fight. To fight someone.
What do you do for a living now?
Right now, I'm a professional MMA coach. I coach free agent fighters. I also do scuba diving. I scuba dive over boats. I mean,
You coach what?
Professional mixed martial
Mixed
fighting.
martial arts coach?
Mixed cage fights.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And how long ago did you quit the porn industry?
2000, and I think did a couple of things for Brazers. I just shot for them. I made a couple random scenes here and there a couple of years ago, but I'm not active. I don't do active porn or testing for porn. Or testing for HIV. You know, so I have just did porn like 2020. 2020 was the last time I did things.
I see.
Yeah.
Have you been sober for a while now, or
I'm
still struggling?
No, I actually have. I have. I'm sober. I'm dry. You know, I'm not using drugs. But I have a lot of damages from drugs that will never leave me. I'll never have. There's nervous system. I have movements and controlled movements.
Were you in a program?
Yeah, I went to a program. I went to way back in 2010.
Okay.
I finally started getting. I went to intervention, and that didn't work out for me.
For
so
alcohol and drugs both, or?
Predominantly is crystal meth, and because it was a connection with the porn industry. I didn't start using methamphetamines until I was like 28, 30 years old, like 30-ish.
And how old are you now, sir?
48 years old. I'm 48. But I got into the pornography, started performing and acting in porn as the actor in porn. 2002, so I was 28. That's when I started doing drugs. So then, drugs, dude, they're not good for you. And this meth is like, fuck it, just fucks you up physically and mentally. But it also does irreparable damage to your nervous system.
Now that you hear this news, alleged accusations against your son.
Yes.
Is there anything that comes to mind that may have people in the community want to know why?
Why?
You know?
What was the trigger? Bad pun.
Man, it's fuck with him. Probably people are fucking with this guy. I heard he was heavy set. He was like 300 pounds or overweight.
Who was doing that with him?
I have no idea. These are things I've heard. You know, I've heard from. But you gotta realize, I thought he was gone from 2016 until like a few months ago. He called me like last year. It wasn't that like even a year ago. He called me. So I thought he was dead. I mourned his loss. I think I had gone through a meltdown. I lost my son. I blacked it out of my system. I go, oh my God, and all of a sudden I get an email from somebody over here saying he's alive. So this is another majorly, this is mind-blowing.
Do you have any idea when he first, recollection, when he may have first tried a gun or shot a gun?
I think it's probably when he got hair on his ass. He started going, hey, I'm going to shoot this damn gun. I don't know. I think he's better, sooner the better. You know, guns are not a problem. Guns are good.
So you had not shown him how to use a gun before he was 10 years old?
I showed him how to use these guns right here.
I see.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So you never shot guns with him as a kid?
No.
Okay, all right.
Gotcha.
No way, man. There's no guns. To me, the guns are the hands. You don't want to. I mean, yes, I believe in guns. I believe in the right to bear arms. I mean, I'd say right. They don't look at that here. California, there's a bunch of liberal freaks around here. You can't carry a gun.
What do you have to say to the community about this?
Man, I don't know what to say. Community, it's a weird question. That's a weird question. To the community, I say, look, you know, love my son, love him through this, man. I want him to get out of this. I want him to get away with this or just not be in jail because that's my son, obviously. But I don't know. I just don't want him I want the best for him. I want the world to love my son. Please love my son, forgive my son, you know, hopefully. If he can't, I understand. But he walked in there and did that. I don't know what to say. I think, God, if he actually shot some people, God, dude, that's just something my son doesn't have to do. I can't relate to that. I would love my son no matter what. I love my son.
Let me ask you this one question. So you talked about gay people with him, and you talked about them being, I don't know exactly what Satan's people or what have you. Let me ask you this. Do you think...
My personal experience is that.
Yeah, right. But this incident happened in a gay bar, right? And my question to you is, do you think these conversations you had with him, his upbringing, had you taught him more tolerance? Let me be direct. Do you think, he would have been more tolerant of gay people? Apparently.
I think that my anti-gay, anti-fanatic, I was conservative writing. I'm a conservative extraordinaire, and I've been very vocal about that. I support Randy Vopel for his grandpa. I love Randy Vopel. He's a good American. Hopefully he'll be president someday.
Granny who?
Randy Gopel.
Oh, Randy. Randy.
That's a good man right there. That's the best man for the job.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a righty. He's true. There's a right, there's left. I'm one of the rights. And I've been very vocal with that's my son. I'm a conservative, and gays. I mean, first gays have been very mean to me. They're bullies the kids. It's like reversed. Like back in the day, it was okay to be gay. You know, now it's like it's cool to be gay. It's not. I think it's not cool at all. I think it's my opinion about gays is that they're just not okay. I think people should stand up against homosexuality. They shouldn't necessarily go to the bar and kill people. It's social. No, it's not what I'm talking about. They stand up against it. What's right is right, and marriage is for a man and woman and all this. But I don't go into all that. It's just yeah.
Did you say you were Mormon?
Yeah, I'm Mormon.
And how long was Nick
He's Mormon too.
From the beginning?
Yeah, he's from the gay. So I made sure you gotta get the kid baptized. I had his mom do it. His mom's a good Mormon too. She's nuts.
He was baptized in the Mormon church?
Yeah, he stayed. Mormons don't do gay. We don't do gay. There's no gays in the Mormon church. We don't do gay. And we have to say, we say, no, we're not going to accept gays. We don't have to do that. We're not forced to do this. But yeah.
Well, given that attitude, what do you say to the families of the 5 victims?
Sorry. I'm so sorry, guys, for your loss. I'm so sorry for any loss like this. Seriously, there's no regard to politics or anything. It's human life, and I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. My soul goes out to you. I'm so sorry for your loss. You know who killed those people. Hopefully it was not my son, but I'm so sorry. Life is just so fragile and it's valuable. Those people's lives are valuable. They're valuable. They're good people, probably. It's not like you kill somebody over. Kill. I'm sorry. I let my son down. You can quote me. I let my son down.